This is the time of year I really need to start logging some of these big oaks for building. And normally I can get them on a 3-point, to pull them out. I hook the chain on them, hook it as short as I can, and then lift the 3-point so I get the weight on the back tires. Well, it works fine if I can get the tractor back there, and then I can slide a fork under, lift the log to get the chain on. It works very well. And then the 3-point, the bale forks actually kind of control it so it doesn't flop side to side, and like I say, you can lift the front of the log off the ground so it slides easier. But sometimes I can't get back far enough, in the trees to hook onto one. And I've got to skid them out. Well, they can pull tough, especially you get in the brush and stuff, and frozen mounds and stuff. They can pull really tough. Plus, you've got limited traction with no weight on the back. So I was going to modify this device. Use this for skidding them out. And what this is a slip scraper. They're made to be pulled by a horse for digging ditches, and a lot of the roads around here were originally built with these old horse-drawn slip scrapers. There's supposed to be a yoke that hooks in here, and then you've got 2 wooden handles, and then you control it as the horse pulls. Then when you get to where you need it, you dump it. Now it kind of works like the tumble bug, but just not near as fancy, Plus, disadvantage, like if you hook a stump or a rock, you can actually get flipped up in the air when them handles come, because they will flip forward. So not the handiest thing. I've actually got another one of these that's in much better shape and that has the yokes on it. And that one is actually built heavier, and it has a couple of extra ribs running down here. So it's just stronger and in better shape. This one has got cement in it. I don't know how it got cement in, but somebody evidently had been scooping cement with it. But my idea is to use this on the front of the log to skid them. Now some people use a car hood. Car hood isn't near strong enough. They bend up right away. Car hood works on snow. The one year I couldn't get back here, and to get hay in, I hauled with the dogs, pulling a car hood. And I could haul a dozen bales at a time on that car hood at a high rate of speed. And it was like a half mile, maybe 3/4 mile. And it worked good, and it packed a really good trail. But car hood is all over the place, and plus they're just too light. I mean, they get beat up right away. It doesn't take long at all, and they're junk. Now this thing is a lot heavier steel. It's as wide as I need it, because I ain't cutting anything over 2 feet. What I'm gonna do though, where that yoke hooked on, there's these metal reinforcing pieces, that are keyed so that it would hook in. Well, I don't need them. But what I want to do is to take and cut these rivets off. They're actually loose. And move that to the center in the back. Because it'll go this way and the log will sit in here, the front of the log. And that'll give it a, for jumping over humps and stuff. But this is pretty thin stuff. It's thicker than a car hood, but it's still, I think if I was to knock a hole in here, eventually it would tear out. So what I want to do is take these, knock those rivets out, and put it right up in here so that I can run a clevis in there to guide the chain. And then the chain will go right through a clevis. It won't be this one, it'll be a twisted clevis. I have one. And then back around the log. But I think I need that extra reinforcing. And I think I could just as well knock these off of here. They're going to be nothing but in the way. But I think that'll work. You know, it ain't something I have to use a lot because, like I say, normally I can get the weight on, but I got to be able to get at them. And sometimes you can't get them. You got to snake them out. So for snaking, I think this is the way to go. And these things turn up very often at auction sales for little or nothing. Yeah, I think this one at one time might have had reinforcing underneath it. I see 2 rivets here, but the reinforcements are gone. But for what I'm using it for, it'll be plenty good. It'd have been a bugger to run them. But the one that I have that's in better shape, that like I say has got the yoke on it, and the handles on that one come further down on the side. They're big square pieces that go in. But that one I drug out of a swamp about half mile north of here. There used to be a road at one time going through there, and they had to constantly be repairing the road, and they used it there and to dig out a water hole that happened to be right on the property line. So the 2 adjoining neighbors were constantly fighting over this water hole, but they did leave that scraper down there to clean the water hole out. But that ceased to be relevant, so I drug it home. Always intended to fix that one up, but this one, like I say, I got it in junk at an auction sale. And every once in a while, this junk comes in handy. Because I think this will be, should slide real easy. You know, I just got to cut this stuff and modify it and find my twisted clevis, but I think that's in the M37. That's another thing, you never pass up a clevis, any clevis. They always come in handy. Especially like them twisted ones, like I say, because you know, like this now, well, then the chain will have to run at an odd angle. But a twisted clevis comes up and then makes a turn. It works good for this, and also I use it for pulling stuff. If I have to hook a hitch onto the pintle hook on the M37, I can run that twisted clevis right into that pintle hook. Yeah, I'm glad I got this. I tell you, that junk has been it's good to have access to junk. That should be a good solid skidder.